So the only reason that I'm seeing is probably the failure or the refusal to buy Pasco, which for me is the right thing. We shouldn't be buying Pasco. Government shouldn't be using our money to buy Pasco for students. you get a picture. Government shouldn't be using our money to buy Pasco. Rather, what we should do is to probably interrogate the learning, methods and all. Probably the year group in general was weak. Because it happens. Sometimes, garbage in, garbage out. Sometimes you can have a year group, even the so-called top schools. You can get some year group that's really strong.
Sankwa's year group.
I'm not giving them any name. What I'm saying is,
But that's the whole generation, eh?
Yeah, because the drop-off is massive. As in from 60-something% to 48%, is a massive drop-off. You understand? Or is it a case that the Pasco was peppering over an innate failure or weakness in the system, but the Pasco was peppering over the so-called weaknesses?
You only be diplomatic.
Let me be diplomatic. Please, allow me to be diplomatic. I'm being diplomatic because I don't have a report from the genius telling me why or telling us, other people, why. So I don't want to be speculating. And that's why I want to limit myself at least to the comparative analysis here. And it's clear that over a space of 4 years, so nobody can tell me that the standard of the teaching dropped. Because it will likely be the same teachers who are teaching the kids. Two, the issue cannot be because there's a wholesale entrance into the SS system. You understand? Because it didn't start. If this year was the first time, or this batch was the first batch of students who were allowed into the senior secondary schools wholesale, then that could have been a reason. I'm saying that in my year, I know it's a very long time ago, but in those days, they were repeating people, weak students, and yet I can on top of my head tell you that the 48 or so % they had in maths was better than our time. You understand? Now, all I'm saying is it the case that the radical spike in performance also was as a result of probably the Pasco and what my learned friend here was alluding to? You get a picture. There are things that we need to interrogate. But for me, I think the bigger question is, over the years, we have an educational system that has radically failed to produce human capital that can transform our country. You understand? We have an education system that is geared towards helping us to pass exams.
And regurgitate.
Yeah.
True and poor.
Yeah, that's the education system. Because you see, when you consider that the founder of Facebook dropped out from uni.
So not any uni. Which uni?
Harvard.
But to qualify to Harvard is not easy.
No, but you see, a lot of students
must be shocked.
How many Harvard has been producing students since centuries? How many Harvard students have done what is done? The point is, their high school system, you understand, was so good that, he did not need to graduate from the university to create, to tap into a sense of imagination to create Facebook. And it's not just him. Bill Gates was another dropout. Okay. Yeah, the point is, in other jurisdictions, you have people who, after leaving high school, their brains have been liberated to the extent, their sense of imagination has been liberated to the extent that they've managed to create systems or create things that have not just transformed their countries, but have transformed the world, have transformed history. Understand? And it tells you these are evidence of the strength of their high school, their secondary school systems. We create Babankwa. In fact, I did science in secondary school. And
you were a science student?
I'm a science student. I did science on the way to the
So
he's not the only person who is a science person. I'm also a science person.
Yeah.
I'm also a science person. So I told you I'm a professional forester. I hold a BSc in Renewable Natural Resource Management, down chemistry, biology. I did my national service, I recall, at Obuase. You know that Rutherford's machine? When you do science first, the Rutherford's machine, you see, we can draw it and label label everything. So when I went there, then there was this technical guy. He went to poly, he didn't go to university like I did. He said, oh, can I identify anything here that I have seen before? And I was all over the place. And the guy started laughing. He said, do I record that in GAST, Rutherford?
Yeah, GAST.
Then he showed me the
Ghana Association of Science Teachers.
he showed me, and I was, and he laughed aloud because he said every year when he gets another service, he asks them the same question, and every year nobody is able to identify it. Why, Baba?